Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike here with another quick video. Real quick, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed so far and everyone who has watched some of the recent uploads that I've put up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe so you get a notification every time I post a new video. So, I have a pretty fun topic and probably a little controversial, so I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Um, and today's topic is, will Michael Myers speak? At least by the end of Halloween Ends. I'm going to say yes on that one. I think Michael Myers will speak by the time we reach Halloween Ends. And I'll tell you why. So, the first thing is looking at Halloween 2018, starting off the film, we get the podcasters, right? They go out to the yard of Smith's Grove Sanitarium with Dr. Sartain. And one of the first things he says when they get out on the yard is he can speak, he just chooses not to, right? So that's one of the first things that he talks about out there. And what's the point of that if at no point he's going to speak, right? Then, of course, there's the famous scene with Aaron, the podcaster, when he gets up to the yellow line and tries to talk to Michael, shows him the mask, and then tries to get him to turn around and speak. Asks him, does he feel anything when he sees the mask? And of course, starts screaming, say something," over and over, and that rolls into our opening credits. It's Aaron screaming, "Say something," right? So I feel like we're meant to remember that going into the opening credits, right? It has to mean something. There has to be a purpose to that, right? So that's 2 points. Sartain saying he can speak, he chooses not to, and then Aaron screaming, "Say something," right? That's twice now we've talked about Michael actually speaking in this 2018 film. So going into my third point, right, right after the opening credits, the podcasters go over to Laurie Strode's house, right, to try to get this interview for their podcast. They talk to her about how they went over to see Michael and they try to get him to speak, but he refused to do so. And then they let her know that, maybe if you go over there and see him, we think he'll speak to you, right? So it's kind of implying that maybe somewhere in this David Gordon Green trilogy, Michael might have something to actually say to Laurie. Now, I agree with most Halloween fans. It's, that the idea of we don't know why he's going after Laurie. He never speaks to her. There's no rhyme or reason, right? Um, that makes Michael Myers a little scarier, right? That's the whole point of this thing. So I get it, but I think they're going somewhere with that. So that's the third point where they discuss Michael speaking in that film, right? So moving past that, a little later in the film, Allison is trapped in the back of the police car with Michael Myers, and Dr. Sartain is sitting up front driving the car after he killed the officer, right? And he's talking to Allison about how he's trying to get Michael to speak. And then Allison, to get her way out of this situation, lies to Dr. Sartain and says, well, he spoke to me, right? This gets Sartain's attention. She says, well, stop the car and I'll tell you what he said. Of course, he slams the cop car to a stop and he asked, what did he say? Was it the sister's name, right? So that's another important point in this movie. And then, of course, right after Michael breaks out of the car, Allison breaks out of the car, and Michael goes to kill Dr. Sartain, right? Right before he stomps his head into the ground, Dr. Sartain's last words are, say something, please say something, right? It's the last thing he tells him. Why waste that moment in the movie of having his last words be to try to get Michael to talk? What's the point of that if they're not going to do anything with it, right? So that's kind of, I believe, the final point. Yeah. So that's four different times in this movie where they try to get Michael to speak. So I don't see the point of wasting all that valuable time in an hour and a half movie if he's never going to say anything. So going into Halloween Kills, I don't think we'll hear him talk there. I don't even think they'll even reference him talking in that movie. Because at this point, the entire town knows he's out, right? Everyone knows he's escaped, and I think it's well known at this point that the plot of this movie is the town of Haddonfield, they come together to try to stop Myers, and they bring back some old characters from the 1978 film, right? Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, right? So I think we're gonna get the traditional Halloween film of in a way, right? So we're gonna see a lot of violence, the town trying to take out Michael. So they're not gonna make much reference. But I think by the time we get to Halloween Ends, we'll see a lot more of that. But by the end of the film, I think it would be pretty cool to see Michael and Laurie have some type of verbal exchange before a final fight scene that Michael eventually dies, or Michael and Laurie die, or however they choose to go about that. But I don't think they wasted all that time in 2018 on him talking just to not do anything with it. Um, Now I'm a traditional Halloween fan. In a way, I don't want to see him talk. Right, the fact that he doesn't speak is what makes him scary. Right, there's the mask, right? So the emotionless mask, and then the fact that he doesn't talk. Right, but at the same time, Halloween 2018 did a lot in terms of him talking, and they did a lot in terms of showing his face. Right, that's another big, I guess, a no in terms of Halloween fans. They don't really want to see his face, but that ship has sailed. They show us his face pretty early in the film in 2018. So why not go ahead and break another wall down by having him speak? So I think by the end of not 2018, I'm sorry, Halloween Ends, we're going to have Michael say something, even if one line, he's going to say something to Laurie before this entire David Gordon Green timeline ends, and possibly even the entire franchise ends. He's going to say something, in my opinion. In a way, I hope I'm wrong, but in a way, I do think it would be cool to see that exchange. So that's all I have for you guys today. So comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. I definitely want to have a conversation about that, and get some other perspectives on this topic. Do you guys think he's going to speak? Do you think they just wasted that time in Halloween 2018? And they're going somewhere else with it, and he's just going to die off at the end of Halloween Ends without ever saying anything? Let me know. And that's it for you guys today. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.